All right, so we're going to take a look at the unit test, Form A, for Chapter 5 of Algebra Structure and Method, Factoring, everybody's favorite. All right, or I should say everyone's favorite F word. Right, so first we're going to find the greatest common factor for 54 and 81. Now, a factor is something that goes into both of them. So what goes into 54 and 81? Well, I know 9 does. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 9 is 81. Is there anything bigger? Well, let's see. So we have 54 and 81. We said 9. That gives us 6. And yeah, it's 81. Sorry. And that's 9. Well, what do both of these share? Well, they both share a factor of 3. So it gets me to 2, 3. Now, these share no factors. So 9 times 3 is 27. So 27 is the largest common factor that goes in both of them. And I can't help but notice that 2 times 27 is 54. 3 times 27, yeah, it's 81. So there we go. And so that's why that is 81. All right, yeah, okay. I'm going to slide these over and make sure I'm not giving you bad advice. All right, so the next problem is what is the greatest common monomial factor? So thankfully they give us the same number. So we know for number 2 that we're going to have 27. And what is the smallest value of a that goes into these? Well, this is a to the third, a to the fourth. A to the third is the smallest value that goes into a to the fourth, and a to the third clearly goes into itself. B, well, we have b to the third and b to the second. And so the smallest value of b is b to the second. Number 3, simplify. And it says simplify because I can't divide, or I can't solve it because it doesn't have an equal sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the problem. So we have negative 3xy to the second to the third over 6x squared y. That whole thing is squared. All right, so first thing I need to do is use my rules of exponents. So negative 3 to the third is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. And 3 to the third is 27. Negative times negative is also a negative. So we have negative 27. X to the first to the third power is x to the third. Y squared to the third power is y to the sixth. 6 squared is 36. X squared squared is x to the fourth. Y squared is y squared. All right. So what goes into negative 27 and 36? Well, let's see. 9, right? Because 9 goes into 27 3 times. 9 goes into 36 4 times. So we divide that by 9, we get 3. Divide this by 9, we get 4. So we have negative 3 over 4. And my answer is going to be a fraction. That's okay. I can't help but notice that I have less x's in the numerator than I have in the denominator. In fact, I have 1 less x in the denominator. So it's going to cancel out all of the x's in the numerator, get an x in the denominator, no big deal. And using the same logic, I have 4 more y's in the numerator than the denominator. So there we go. Negative 3y to the fourth over 4x. Question number 4. We're going to divide. So we have 12a squared b to the, it's hard to read on the board, third. It's gotten so fuzzy. Plus 16ab squared minus 4ab. And I'm going to divide this whole thing by 4ab. All right, well, let's start with the easy one. Negative 4ab divided by positive 4ab is negative 1. Don't forget the 1. All right, so 4 goes into 12 3 times. A goes into a squared once. B to the third divided by b is b squared. 16 divided by 4 is 4. A divided by a is, well, it just cancels out. B squared divided by b is just b. And so there we go. All right, number 5. I'll do 5, 6, and 7 on this video, and then I'll do another video. Don't want to make them way too long. For so number 5, we have x minus 3 times x plus 2. So x squared, x times 2 is 2x, negative 3x, negative 6. These share a common term of x. So I have x squared minus x minus 6. For number 6, we have 2a minus 3b squared. So that means we have 2a minus 3b times 2a minus 3b. All right. So we get 4a squared. That's that one right here. Then 2a times negative 3b is negative 6ab. So we get another negative 6ab, and that is positive 9b squared. All right, share a common term, so we get 4a squared minus 12ab plus 9b squared, because negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. There is a shortcut, but I figure this is the easiest way to understand it. And finally, we have 2c times 3c minus 4d squared times 3c plus 4d squared. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this difference of squares together. And I know a difference of squares is going to have no linear term, is going to cancel out. So really I just have 3c times 3c, so that's 9c squared. Negative 4d squared times positive 4d squared is negative 16d to the fourth. And now I still have to multiply it by 2c. 2c times 9c squared is going to be 18c to the third. 2c times negative 16, well, 2 times 16 is 32. c d to the fourth. Hey, look at that. We are 7 for 7 so far.